Hey kiddos, the last time we read, we know that in Among the Imposters, betrayed, the kiddos got out of the prison and they're in like the kind of a grassy wooded area beside the prison, and they're trying to figure out how to get to the woods that Nina knows about. So chapter 18. The other three kids didn't even look surprised. Nina felt more ashamed than ever that they expected her not to know, expected her to be stupid and ignorant. Calm down, Matthias said, none too gently. We can think this through. He looked over at Percy expectantly. The place you think is safe? It's by the school you used to go to, right? Percy asked. Nina nodded. And the population police brought you to the prison and your school, right? Nina nodded again. What time of day was it when they brought you here? For a minute, Nina was afraid she wasn't even going to be able to answer the question. But she recovered quickly, her mind supplying a frightening jumble of images. Morning, she said. They arrested me at breakfast. She could still smell the oatmeal, could still see those three lonely raisins hiding among the oats. The memory made her want to gag. Okay, good, Percy said encouragingly, like he was talking to a really little kid, even younger than Aaliyah. Now think carefully. When they were driving you here, what side of the car was the sun on? The sun? Nina wasn't sure she heard the question right. Then she wasn't sure she could answer it. She'd just been arrested by the population police. She'd been terrified of her wits. Who in their right mind would pay attention to the sun at a time like that? Then she remembered the splat of water on the car window beside her, the flow of drops on the glass. The sun wasn't even out, she said triumphantly. It was raining. Percy and Matthias exchanged glances. Nina got an inkling that she shouldn't be feeling so triumphant. Why does it matter? She asked. If we knew what side of the car the sun was on, Matthias explained, we know which direction you were traveling. The sun is on the east side of the sky in the morning. If it is raining and the sun wasn't out, we don't know where you were coming from. Oh, Nina said, though she couldn't see clearly enough. Nina had a distinct feeling that Matthias had spoken through gritted teeth. It wasn't fair to expect Nina to know about the sun and the sky. She'd been so little, she had seen so little of either of them in her lifetime. What made Percy and Matthias such experts? Can you think hard? Percy was asking patiently. Was there any part of the sky that was brighter than the rest of the sky that morning? This was not Auntie Lystra's detective shows. The detectives were always saying things like, I know it's a strain, ma'am, but it's important for you to remember. Are you sure you heard Mr. X leave his room before midnight? But in Auntie Lister shows, the witnesses was always sure of themselves. Oh, yes, I heard his door opened just before the midnight train went through, just before the clock chimed. Nina hadn't been looking at the sky when the population police brought her to prison. She'd been looking down at the cuffs on her wrists, the chains on her ankles. But she looked out long enough to see the rain. It was still dark when we left the school, Nina said slowly. But then I think there was a kind of glow in the sky through the rain out of my window. Sunrise, Matthias muttered. The sun rises? Nina asked. She never thought about how it got up into the sky. In pictures and on TV, it was just always there, overhead. Percy ignored the question and asked her one of his own. Which side of the car were you on? Left side, in the back, Nina said. So the left side's east, you were going south, Percy announced. If you say so, Nina said. Her school's probably right off Route 1, Matthias said, north of the city. Do we dare walk alongside the road? If we don't, we'll be lost for sure, Percy said. Nina noticed how they didn't even pretend to ask her opinion. At least both boys glanced quickly at Aaliyah, long enough for her to nod to agreement. Nina told herself she didn't care. She just hoped she was right about the direction of the sunrise. Whew. It's a lot to take in when you're such a little kid. You don't know your directions. So, all right, we're going to read chapter 19 next.